Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Against the Grain interview series. My name is Khara Vassell, and this is all sponsored by Miami Community Newspapers. Shout out to Grant Miller. Okay, so here we have Dr. Marvin Dunn. Hello, Mr. Dunn. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and what you've done in the past?
Well, I was born in Florida in 1940 in Volusia County. My parents were migrant workers. So we went up and did agricultural trade during my boyhood. Then my family moved to Miami in 1951. And then I grew up here, went to college, Morehouse College, went to the Navy, was a naval officer for about 6 years. And then went to the University of Tennessee, got a doctorate in psychology, came to FIU here in Miami and stayed for 35 years and taught there. That's what I do. In the short version of that.
It's a really extensive background. So recently you made a comment for one of these articles published, and it was, quote, "Skin color alone is not enough to bind a people together. We need to find cultural ties. We have to find ways to make that happen." Please explain that further.
Well, basically in terms of culture, African Americans are closer to white folks in Mississippi than we are to Haitians. In terms of what, the habits of food and the music and what have you. So I'm saying just because a person is black does not mean necessarily that you relate to them in a cultural way. You have to make an effort to do that. Blacks in Miami-Dade County have to make an effort to reach out and meet Haitians culturally, not just assume that because we're all black, we all have the same perception of things, we all react in much the same ways to things, and that simply isn't true. I'm saying skin color is a part of the binding of people together, but you gotta have other ties that make us closer to the person.
Right. And so, sort of getting into blackness and what it is being black, I understand that you have experienced and not necessarily been a part of, but you have educated others about the Miami race riots. So can you please explain how the death of Arthur McDuffie led to these race riots in the early 1980s?
Oh, white police officers killed a totally innocent man for speeding on a motorcycle, and they got off. Mind you, the riot didn't happen when these officers killed this man. It happened when the justice system allowed these people to go free. And that simply caused a wound in black Miami that was not subject to heal and led to a tremendous amount of violence. It was the first race riot in the country in about 20 years. And a lot of people died, and the community is still recovering from that.
Right. Okay. And speaking of innocent black men being killed, I know your view of Michael Brown and the Ferguson case is it's not necessarily common. Can you please explain what it is and why you think this way?
I think every black parent in this country should tell their sons that they're subject to being killed by the police for no reason other than the fact that they're black. It's not necessarily because police officers are racist. Some of them are. It's more because they're frightened of young black men, and they look at young black men as a threat. So you need to be aware of that, and then have that in your mind when they stop you. And parents have an obligation to teach our boys this, even though they may think and assume that they're right and cops shouldn't be bothering them. You could be killed. Totally submit to police officers, and then register your complaint later when you're in a safe situation.
Okay. Well, let's keep these questions rolling, actually. We're doing so on time. So, being that you're such an accomplished professor, my curiosity as a student kind of went array. I wanted to research you as a professor. I noticed you taught a lot of psych classes, obviously. And I read a couple of reviews on your teaching style and what the students thought of you. And one of the students typed, this is totally out there, which I personally don't agree with, upon meeting you, he or she said he will make you work for some community project of his, cleaning and planting, and that you teach biasly about the history of Miami. Okay. And then another student in comparison, this seems to be a more sensible student because they are in college. They said, quote, "Old school, no babying, no web info. Not available outside of class. The class is an awesome opportunity to learn about the community. I really loved the internship working with kids. So upon reading that, I sort of
Well,
cultivated.
I think they're all correct.
Right.
Um, I do teach black minor history with the bias. The bias is that it hasn't been taught before.
Exactly.
The bias is that if we don't make this history visible and profound, then it'll never be a matter of common knowledge to people in the community.
Mm-hmm.
As far as making students work, listen, students have an obligation to give back to the community. Just because you pay your tuition, that does not cover your college costs. A lot of folks, the public, are participating in paying for you to be in college. Therefore, as a privilege, you should take some time and go into the community and do something important.
Right.
Right? And no better time to do that than when you're young. So I had students go to do gardening work and cleanup work in the inner city in Miami. And I did that for some, 14, 15 years. And students had an option. If they didn't want to go and give me 8 or 9 days of work during the semester in the community, they could give me a 40-page term paper.
Oh my goodness.
Right. I had 2 students do the term paper option, and they were both pregnant. So my students went to the community, and they worked, and I think no one got hurt, and the community was the better for it. And we put in gardens that everyone else didn't exist in Overtown.
Please explain your idea of building a community garden in Overtown, understanding the problem of violence around there and the problem of lack of activity over there.
Well, no, the idea of the gardens arose from the fact that Overtown, like many inner city areas, is a food desert. There's no supermarket. You go to these mom and pop stores, you pay more money, less quality, and particularly for fresh vegetables. So the view was take vacant land that's not going to be used, borrow it, with the permission of the owner, of course, and put in a garden and grow food and give it away.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps a lot of things. And that's what we did. And we managed to get some public support in terms of grants for that from the city and from other sources. And I did that for about 15 years, and then now my daughter's taking over that function and is doing the same thing. But the gardens not only provided food, people came there just to rest. There was no shade in Overtown. You couldn't find a tree that you could sit under. So we provided space for people to rest, reflect. Even police officers took their break in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
They only had a 10, 15-minute break. They'd go and get their Popeyes and come and sit in the garden. So gardens provide a rest place for people, a place to collect themselves. And that's why we did it. And I think that's one of the most important things I did in my career was running that work.
Yeah, I thought that was very out there, especially you being such an influential leader in the community. You kind of, some people view it as you taking a step down, but it's actually you taking a step up and saying.
It's funny you would say that because some people a lady came to me one day, the elderly black lady, and said, we were in the garden, all those people working. You're taking us back to slavery. We should be doing other stuff, and this is what my mama and my daddy did. This is going back to slavery.
Oh, God.
I had 1 or 2 people express that view to me. But so what? We're using some of the things that got us through a very difficult time to regenerate ourselves. And one of those things is our knowledge of how to use the land to survive. Africans knew how to do that before they came here, learned how to do it since we arrived. And even in urban America today, we still need to use the land to benefit the people in some significant way.
And any thoughts of how we can sort of better today's society and implement change in a more efficient way?
That's a good question. I believe change begins at the top. Unless you have a national leadership that is committed to social change, even more so than Barack Obama was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Barack could have done more for social change, and he did not. But it begins at the top. When a president, he or she, says this is something we're going to do as a national community. We're going to get past these problems that have plagued us for years and become a new nation. That requires inspired leadership. And that kind of leadership is not on the horizon right now. But I'm confident that it will emerge. And that kind of leadership will restore the nation and move us to a higher place than we are right now.
I agree with that. Okay, Mr. Dunn, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. This is short. I thought you were going to be here for a while to But
Well,
I'm so
I don't
glad
want to
to.
take too much of your
No.
time up.
Good luck in your program.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right.